Just sort of give you a little progress update on the spring onions. We had one that got bitten off there, and another one that looks like it might also be getting bloody bitten off. God. And there's another one I thought was a spring onion, was a bit of grass, but it's not all fail. Look at this baby, the flipping height of it. These are the first ones I've planted. Unfortunately, the bugs have also got into all the ones in the IBC and wiped them out. Yeah, but at least we got something. But I have a tremendous trouble with bugs here, and pyrethrum doesn't do anything for these particular bugs, and neither does garlic and chili and spray and all that, and it's pretty savage sort of stuff that I've got to use. But old lemon centre verbena, just realised it's getting a bit of brown spots on the leaf, but that's actually going shockingly good, actually. Oh, there's a bee under there. I've got to go and pop these into bigger stuff on the weekend. I've got to get water tomorrow, so yeah. Is this the deal of the century? Cop this, Tony Mullins. There we go. This size of bloody tins. They're 3.1 kilos, which I think is about 6.5, 7 pounds of spaghetti in tomato sauce with cheese powder, which probably isn't good for being lactose intolerant. Have a guess what price they were. It's 2.2 pounds a kilo, and this is 3.1 kilos, so you can work it out. These are $3 a can. I really could not believe that one. I think it's to do with the dents in them. I see these big things sometimes, and I usually never buy them, but I thought, oh, what the hell. I'll be able to open a tin, and, you know, this will be bloody 3 days' worth of lunch in a tin here without a problem, you know. So, there we go. There's 6 days' lunch right there. Alrighty, a little miss and me decided to take a bit of a break for a while. I needed to clear my head a bit and be able to see things from a third-party perspective, and we had a few arguments and whatnot, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that I am still waiting to see her in person, and this is irritating me to the point that I can't just continue to keep a straight face about it, and I'm not pissed off about it sometimes and happy about it other times. I'm just pissed off about it all the time. And, you know, quite simply, if she doesn't see me soon, she can shove it all up her ass. You know, it's just the endless string out. You know, and I've heard different excuses and reasons and things just to drag me along, and like, you know, this has got to happen. And to be quite honest, I don't really feel like talking to her anymore until I get to meet her in person, because why talk about steps 7 and 8 of a relationship, about how your future's going to be and your kids and building a new house and all this sort of stuff, if we haven't even done step 2, which is where I meet her in person, you know, and have a good talk to her and spend some time with her, you know, and it just sort of, it's got to the point where it's insurmountable and I've got to flip and see her, or I'm just pulling the plug on it all, you know. And, you know, she says, oh, I'm sorry that this is going on like this and da-da-da-da, but here I am, you know, still dragging on. And, you know, she's talked that it's going to be very soon that we can see each other. But then again, I've heard all that before. Now, what I say next, I want you to keep in mind that with this girl, I originally met her and she would talk to me about all the crap she was going through with the family, how exceedingly strict they were on her. And, you know, I was encouraging her to run away from home, and, you know, she wanted to get away from it all. You know, a girl in a bad family who wanted to run away from that bad family. And now she wants to stay with that family, and for the last couple of months it's been the case that she wants to stick by this family. for the last 2.5, 3 months. She wants to do it the proper way that'll please them, and we're not going to just, cut them off or run away from them, because it's part of the Samoan culture that you stick by your family no matter what. And on top of that, in the last week and a half, I've found out a whole stack of other stuff that I never knew about, including that there's 4 half-brothers, and some of the things these half-brothers get up to, and some more things about her, and a whole heap of shit that, I probably shouldn't talk about, and I won't. And, we've gone from a girl who's in a bad situation trying to get away from it to a girl who's in a situation far worse than I thought it was originally, who now wants to stick by her family. And, like the saying goes, if you're surrounded, it's hard to fly like an eagle if you're surrounded by turkeys. She's going to stick by them anyway. And she is picking up the pieces. And, some of the things they get up to aren't that great, and then she's there trying to pick up the pieces and sort it out for people who weren't responsible enough to sort it out for themselves. And to quote my old buddy Tony Mullins, when you lay with dogs, you get the fleas. I was hoping to bring her out of a bad situation, but now I'm wondering if I join this family, if I'm not going to be dragged down with them. But anyway, I won't be talking to her until at least Christmas Day. And I don't really see a point in continuing to talk about all these futures and all these fantasies if we still haven't met, because it is now insurmountable and she has to bloody meet me, and I think I'm just going to refuse to talk until she meets me. It's as simple as that, because it's never going to end. I'm going to be here in another year's time still hearing all these promises and crap, and I've had a gutful. I have had a gutful, and, I'm at the end of my tether with all this, and, it reminds me of the kid who gets a great big ice cream, and they're so busy looking at this massive ice cream they got in awe of what they've finally nagged their mum to buy them, this big ice cream. And as they're sitting there looking at it, it's melting and it falls on the pavement. Well, it's just about melted and it's almost ready to fall on the pavement. Stuff around, take too long, and waste my time, and you're going to lose whatever we had, And she loves me like you wouldn't believe, but... we'll see. In further news, there's a couple of other things I have got to do during my holiday time, a few projects, and put a bit of this stuff through the Coleman. It removes limescale, and it has stuff in there saying that you're supposed to put this stuff through it initially when you buy it to get rid of any flux and rubbish left from manufacturing, and I didn't do that, and they say you'll see a bit of limescale build up in the pipe, and it's sort of like a white stuff, and I have, and realistically I should put a bit of this through the system, because they reckon the limescale also builds up in the heat exchanger, so I'll be doing that, and working on more weeds, and here's an old Porky here, plus this to fix something with the wood heater. That should be done. And anyway, at that time of year where things are a lot of chaos and the Christmas carols are driving me insane and whatnot, I swear I want to create a refuge one day for people to be able to get away from Christmas, pretty much. As much as I'm a Christian, I'll tell you what, I'm ready to go crazy sometimes in these supermarkets with these Christmas carols from the 90s that have been dubbed 15 times over and then played through a supermarket PA system, and it sounds terrible. And I was hearing Elvis Christmas songs and all this other stuff. It was so bad quality I couldn't even understand the words, and I'm just sick of this time of year, to be quite honest. As much as I'm a believer of Christ and God and and consider myself a Christian, this time of year just does my flaming head in. And I might create a refuge of people who want to get away from Christmas. I also should note that, I don't know how I'll lift this part to the end, but I've been contacted by a production company that is interested in interviewing me and possibly showing the house, because they want to talk about off-gridders and preppers and stuff of that nature. Whether that goes ahead or not, I don't know. I've heard enough stuff from people from Doomsday Preppers about all the crap that they went through, and even sent a bloke who had what he claimed to be was the tiniest tiny home in the state, who then got hell rained on him from the local government and all this chaos over a lousy half-hour segment on TV, and they were going to force him to demolish the thing. And then they said, oh no, we're going to compromise and we'll only make him do this and that. After all these city lawyers jumped on board in defence of him, and all these people in the tiny home community jumped on board in defence of him, they didn't make him demolish it, but they made him modify the hell out of a whole heap of stuff. I don't know if I need to go through the same crap, so I may have the interview but not show the house and not use my full name, and we will see how it pans out, but I just thought I'd mention that one too. And yeah,